Authenticity is a healthy alignment between your internal belief, internal values, and the external behavior. Leadership success is all about authenticity. By doing your work without compromising your own values and the personality. Being authentic makes you a trustworthy and courageous leader, which comes from a honest place where you don't have any fear, but only the trust. As its root, authentic leadership is all about behaving uh, all time with consistency and integrity. Vanakkam, welcome to Dr. Jiko Podcast, Season 3, Leadership Tricks. I'm your host, Dr. Rajay Rabi. This episode, we are having a wonderful guest who is going to talk more about authentic leadership and its importance. He is a leading finance and corporate divisions in a company and strongly believes in growing together. And that's why he is a leader who is always passionate about people development through learning, listening, and harmonizing. Personally, I met him through LinkedIn, and his posts are magicking to me because it connects to me internally. He stands by example of how learning can be done without any challenges, which means you should not depend on a life-turning stories to create an inspiration. He just stands by example, and this is a time to welcome him, Mr. Adil Farooq from Pakistan. Welcome, Adil, and thank you so much for coming here to being a guest for this podcast. Yes, please tell us a few words about yourself. And I said no. You lead by example. So just tell a few words about how you can be a leader without any title.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Rajay Rabi, for inviting me. And I am honored to be part of your season 3 of your podcast, which is titled Leadership Without Title, actually. And it resonated with me. So just let me start with a few words about yourself. First of all, I'm grateful for your wonderful introduction and magical words, but uh, uh, the harmonizing and the aligning that you put forward through your content and the desire of seeing everybody in their well-being and wellness advocacy that you put through your actions is really inspiring and exemplary, and really stands out for me, the research and the effort that you put into your content. So I wish you all the best, and I send you many blessings and more power.
Thank you
So
so much.
yeah,
Thank you so
so
much.
leadership, you're welcome. Leadership without title resonates with me because uh, everybody is a leader without, by default, actually, without any title. Because leadership is influence. So we are influencing every day in every interaction, whatever we are having with every other person, even with our surroundings, and even with man-made things and lifeless things, or the natural environment that we are interacting with is getting influenced by us, and we are getting influenced by them. So everybody is a leader, whether we know it or not, whether we recognize it or not, or we are intentional about it or not. We are a leader. So when we linked it to title, so we limited ourselves. Actually, we forgone some of the opportunities that leadership actually offer us. So it is only that when we differentiate it or exclude the title from the leadership, that we pursue the real path of leadership and the influence. And intention actually plays its part in different ways in this. One way to look at it is that you're being more intentional about being leader, but I want to introduce uh, how to exclude intention. uh, what I want to say is that when you let go of your desire to influence others, positively all the time, that you want to everybody to speak positively about you, and they should be inspired, they must be inspired by you. So when you let go of that desire, actually, then you start influencing others positively. And my tagline, "Let's grow together," is has actually been defined by this, that we should be aligned in our intentions to grow together, rather than a single sided matter.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful narration about a leadership. You can be a leader without title. It's definitely it's a quality for every human being, and of course, you are the right person to ask about authentic leadership. What is your perspective on it?
Yeah, authenticity, as you wonderfully said in your introduction, authenticity is all about trust and consistency. And everybody is a leader by default, and you can also be a leader by title, but everybody is a leader without title. But some people have the title as well to show that. But authenticity actually brings out the best version of yourself into the world. And by best, I do not mean, again, I do not mean to say that you try to show your best self and keep hiding your other side. It's actually recognizing and accepting your positives and negatives alike, because if you can accept your own self, only then you can accept others with their positives and not so positives. And I say not so positive because everybody in their own right thinks positively and does positively and does what they think best, but it may not be aligned with me, so it will not be positive for me. But if I can accept my own shortcomings, my own weaknesses, my own negatives, only then I can accept others. And because leadership is about influence and people management and all about people, so it doesn't start without self acceptance. And I want to again give a new definition of authenticity, because authentic leadership has two parts. Leadership is influence in one way or the other. And by authenticity, I mean to say that we speak with words, but if we take out the words, what remains is action.
Mm-hmm.
If we take out the action, what remains is intention.
Mm-hmm.
And if we take out the intention, what remains is your most authentic self, your
Yes.
natural self, your natural personality, which has no desire to be, uh, to be celebrated or to be shown off or to be maybe to be tagged
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. It's your most natural self. So when you put your most natural self, that's when you become a leader in the flow, an
Mm-hmm.
authentic leader.
Mm-hmm.
And being authentic does not mean that you are always inspirational, always happy. You you go through those phases, you go through those emotions, you build on your strengths, and you work on your improvements in the way that it feels most natural to yourself and to others as well. So
Yes.
that's what the combination of this means authentic leadership. And I enjoyed your video as well, in which you linked uh, professional competence with emotional intelligence, because
Yes.
that's what happens when you are professionally competent. Only then you can get the work done effectively and efficiently from the people around you. And it gives you the necessary confidence to act emotionally intelligently as well, because if
Yes.
you are not confident side, maybe your emotions will get the better of you and come out
Yes.
in
Yes.
a
Indeed.
harsh manner.
Indeed, indeed. Actually, you have articulated well, starting from the perpetual positioning through self-awareness, and you have concluded as it's, authenticity means centralizing yourself in the core of truth, like a genuine feeling, right? It's awesome. It's a beautiful explanation. It's a beautiful perspective. And have you feel that any potential problems or challenges when you're facing being an authentic leader?
Yes, thank you for your kind words. And just as you discussed that, uh, what constitutes authenticity and authentic leadership,
Mm.
The same translates into its challenges when we are saying that you have to be self acceptance and be clear about your own strengths and weaknesses and targets and goals and your even your influence on others. You have to be aware of your influence on others as well, that how much you hold the power to influence others to actually act intelligently. So if any part of your own self is not clear on that, the clarity is uh, hurt on some levels. It's just like the ozone layer that's protecting the harmful rays to coming us. If that layer of clarity is broken somewhere, so that the harmful rays will not only harm you but also the others around you. So this is the most I understand that the most uh, common challenge that you can say.
Challenges. Mm.
Yeah, and why is it so? Because when you are leading and influencing, you have to differentiate and discern whether you are acting from your heart or on the directions of others. For
Mhm.
example, if I just take a simple example, if my voice is not audible now and you say to me that you got to speak loudly, so
Mm.
now I have to, being a leader, I have to differentiate whether it is the need of the moment, the want that has to be done,
Mm.
or is it someone directing me and I'm just complying it because someone directed me to. So
Okay.
naturally in the practical environment, it's very difficult because sometimes you have to take an action, and just because somebody says it so to me, my ego comes in between, and my ego says that don't do it now because
Mm.
someone has said it. And now if you act on that, you will not be authentic because somebody has said it. But if I can differentiate that emotion out of it, and if I can think logically, maybe it's the need of the that moment, and I have to do that, and I want to do that. So so it it uh, obviously it comes with practice, and it comes with being in the flow, and
Mm.
uh, acting naturally, because we are accustomed to generally pleasing everybody, and we obviously appreciation and acknowledgement means a lot to us coming from the
Mhm.
outside. So we
Mhm.
we we need it. So when we need it, we become its you can say servants. So we have to get ourselves free from that servantship to become an authentic leader.
Mhm. That's indeed, you have given very practical points and views to understand the challenges in authentic leadership. Would you please give me the tips to develop authentic leadership?
Yes, just as we discussed, the challenge is getting clear about yourself
Mm.
and about your strengths and weaknesses is the first step towards self-awareness and acceptance and towards influencing others, because as human beings we are all connected. And
Mm.
once I start knowing myself, it's just as similar or resonating with knowing other human beings and
Mm.
other parts of nature and other surroundings, because uh, the roots of all of us are connected. So first thing is self awareness that can really put you on a platform to begin the journey of authentic leadership.
Mm.
I just want to emphasize that getting self aware is
Mm.
the beginning of authentic leadership. It's not the end. For some people it becomes the end.
Mm.
So you have to, when you become self aware, it's the beginning. Why I
Mm.
say that it's the beginning? Because although all of us are connected somehow, but everybody is unique as well. So when
Mm.
we start authentic leadership, we'll encounter that everybody is unique. So customization or
Mm.
personalization is one of the hallmarks of authentic leadership.
Mm.
And we would see that aspect prevalent in all the successful personalities of the world. whichever we idealize and study about, that they have been very personalized about their relationships with others and how they manage to get the best versions of others in the front. And if we encounter their life with respect to different personalities, we would see uh, a, new angles of their life towards their family members, towards their followers, towards their peers, towards other famous personalities of the world. So that personalization is actually necessary in the way of authentic leadership, because it is only natural that when you talk to somebody, you don't talk in a monotone, or you don't talk to your friends just as you do with your family, and same goes with you don't talk to your teachers just as you do with family. So it gets personalized automatically. But in leadership, you have to be intentional about that personalization, and that personalization or customization is based on the special or specific or unique needs of the individual that you are influencing.
Self-awareness is a key. And you have narrated about some, do you have any inspiration on some particular leaders you have inspired through an authentic leadership?
I can't name with respect to authentic leadership specifically, but the leaders that I idealize, that I read about, whether uh, it is Nelson Mandela or somebody else. I name him because I've read a bit about him, but not that much a lot. But uh, so if we study their relationships with others, we'll see a clear distinction and how they natural they just like a uh, music symphony or a flowing river. They were leaders in flow. They were to decide whether it is the right moment and the right person to show their resentment, anger, appreciation, or acknowledgement, or how to correct someone, or how to motivate someone, or how to inspire, whether by stick or by carrot. So we see a lot many examples spread throughout, even in our daily lives. We see that. For example, if you return home, I am working as a full-time employee, so a lot of my examples stem from that. When I go home, it's only natural for me to meet all the family members. It's only natural. It doesn't. I don't have to do something about it to be. When I go home, I convey regards and I convey greetings and I talk about my day to everybody individually or collectively if they are all sitting together. So same goes for your teams as well, for your peers as well. When you uh, get to office in the morning, it's only natural that you greet everybody. So it's being leader in a flow. So you become a leader in a flow. You go to the floor and you greet everybody. You ask their about their well-being, about their families, and just like that, nothing special. And uh, you exchange some inspirational moments and some smiles, and everybody feels part of the family, and everybody feels part and feels belong to the organization or to that leader and gets influenced positively. So it's with the small things that matter in my own right, that they get together and collectively they form the bigger part of the authentic leadership.
You said that the leader is in the flow, right? How do you
Yeah.
see this flow in practice, and how this flow can be enhanced and sustained?
The flow can be sustained and enhanced, sustained uh, with showing your natural self, not uh, believing or giving in to that. If I show resentment to someone, or if I show anger to someone, then I would not be called out a leader or something like that, or because if some, we have all our unique needs. So maybe in my career at the start, I needed somebody to put down the foot on me, to give me a piece of lesson, for example. Or maybe somebody needed just to be quiet. It all depends on the moment. It all depends on the leader and the led, both of the persons. Because I see leadership as alignment. If one person doesn't want to be influenced, you cannot force your influence on somebody. So it's like alignment. When the intentions are aligned, not in the exact form, but in substance.
Mhm.
So the ways to learn can be many, but if only our intentions are aligned, then it's a winning combination, because one person is there to learn and the other person is there to influence. So that's what a winning combination looks like. It's just like we can see the analogy in the student and the teacher relationship. It just happens automatically in that relationship, because the student is there to learn and the teacher is there to give the lesson. So it
Mhm.
happens naturally.
Mhm.
But a in practical life or in leadership, this has to be intentional, because somebody might not want to be influenced, or you have to inspire them through your actions and
Mhm.
your intentions or your flow. So it can be sustained by practicing your best self and your natural self to the front, and it can be enhanced by uh, knowing your best intentions, best targets, and acting accordingly, and making your decision making processes clear to everybody, making your communication better. When you communicate in a better environment and in a healthy environment, the other persons know, and you become a lot more predictable. So the reduction of uncertainty plays a big part in others feeling you trustworthy, and enhancing that confidence in the leader.
Mhm. Yes. See, it makes me remember one proverb. You can, step by step, you can even move a mountain. By being authentic on yourself, definitely you can able to influence the people, even they are not willing initially. See, absolutely. Super, fantastic. You have narrated well. And shall we finish the session? Do you have any
Yeah,
other
thank you
more
very much.
words?
Thank you very much.
Any?
I just want to share that I read a Harvard article. They said leadership is a conversation. So
Mm,
sometimes that conversation takes the form of words, and
mm,
sometimes it takes the form of silence.
mm,
So I just want to give the listeners and the readers here a message that they should not undermine the power of silence as well, and use it as an effective tool of leadership. And one last thing, it's not related to authentic leadership, but just as a happy note, I wanted to share a news article that I read in the local newspapers some days ago, that scientists brought together a very powerful telescope, and they unearthed some secrets far off in the universe. So this is not a new news item as such, because every day scientists make some discoveries. What I want to convey is the conclusion that the scientists reached, because it was so billions and billions of light years far away from Earth. The scientists concluded that the explosions and the forming of the stars and whatever they saw on that telescope, the light actually has taken billions of years to reach Earth.
mm,
So
mm,
what
mm.
they are witnessing right now through that telescope is actually not taking place right now. It actually took place billions of years ago. So this is just an interesting conclusion that I wanted to share.
Yes, it's interesting, really interesting. Something I have learned, and hope people who are listening also learning a new thing from this podcast. And thank you so much, Mr. Adil. Really, it's an inspiring session. And of course, this session makes me again to understand how clarity king you are. How you tag yourself as a hot right? You are really a hot because you are talking about that authenticity in the interior part, that awakening of the inner self. It's something a spiritual. The spiritual is not definitely not related to the religion, but it's a spirituality which everyone needs. That's why every person is a leader. Thank you so much for this interesting podcast. It's really an interesting and inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I am gratefully honored. And yes, you rightly pointed out, I am self-certified in many forms, and Heartspreneur and Clarity King is one of them.
It's
So I
aptly
look forward
suits.
to.
I'm sorry, it's aptly suits. That's why I'm just pinpointed here. It's aptly
Yeah,
suits
thank
to
you very much.
you. Your words, uh, for the last few days, I have seen it through your words in the post form, and now I can able to perceive and resonate with your. This meeting makes me
Thank you
to
very much.
understand it. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your kind words. And I wish all of your listeners and your network a very wonderful day. And I'm gratefully honored that you invited me on this Leadership Without Title season. And I look forward to more episodes from you.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
so
much.
much.